Marriage involves reinforcement, psychological, physical, sexual commitment from two matured individuals, and the essence of sex in marriage helps to bond and strengthen commitment and sexual capacity in marriage. Now, as much as this is necessary, the lack of sex in marriage can be more damaging than its impact. The prolonged lack of sexual intimacy and commitment in marriage can be a source for so many marital tension. And when sex is absent in marriage, it can cause a psychological distress, unity, dysfunction. It can cause mental breakdown, and it can cause all overall marital challenges between two unified individuals.
Today we'll be discussing about the topic, the challenges of lack of sex in marriage, emotional disconnection. Sexual intimacy bonds spouses together. The lack of it builds up a growing invisible wall between them.
Furthermore, in the feeling of rejection, the spouse with higher desire begins to feel unloved, unwanted, and unattractive.
Also, over time, couples who stop being intimate often stop being close friends.
In addition, resentment and bitterness, unmet sexual needs, which remain undiscussed, quietly develop into deep marital wounds.
Furthermore, emotional withdrawal. The rejected spouse begins to stop initiating conversation, affection, and emotional investment.
In addition, growing emotional changes without physical closeness makes couple fall apart under the same roof.
Another challenge is depression and despair. Prolonged sexual deprivation contributes to low mood and hopelessness.
Also, shame and self-blame, what is wrong with me, become a recurring and destructive inner narrative.
In addition, loss of confidence, sexual rejection erodes self-worth beyond the bedroom, influences work, social life, and ministry.
Furthermore, suppressed anger or unspoken frustration about sexlessness sometimes appears in unresolved arguments or conflict.
Also, couples begin to see themselves not as lovers anymore. They start seeing themselves as co-housemates, co-parenting, and even co-business partners.
Another challenge is guilt and spiritual condemnation. When you are feeling guilty in your heart or you feel condemned, you will not be able to pray directly to God. Your heart is already condemned already, so you will not be able to pray directly to God.
Also, violation of biblical covenants in 1 Corinthians 7 verse 3 to 5. Once again, depriving a spouse because it opens door to temptation.
Another challenge in marriage is physical infidelity. A sexless marriage cannot valuable to infidelity, but it can lead to cheating.
Guilt and condemnation weaken spiritual covering, and physical unity is a form of covenant shield over a home, and the absence of it weakens spiritual protection.
Also, invulnerability to emotional fear. Spouse that are emotionally starved in marriage have the opportunity to feel sexually intimate to someone else outside the marriage.
In addition, sexual disconnection leads to reduced cooperation in household responsibilities and parenting in the areas of emotional disconnection. Another challenge is emotional insecurity. One or both partners begin to question the strength of the relationship and wonder if their spouse still feels attracted to them.
Normalization of sexless marriage. Over time, couples have stopped having intimacy in order for them to start having coexistence, and which is not the plan of God for marriages. According to researchers, it has been shown that prolonged sexual dissatisfaction can lead to marital breakdown, divorce, and separation.
When sexual intimacy disappears for a long period, couples stop discussing emotional needs openly, and misunderstanding increases.
In addiction,
Decline in physical affection, gesture, such as holding hands, hugging, showing warmth, gradually disappear when sexual intimacy remain absent.
Small disagreements about ordinary matters escalate because of unresolved sexual frustration, which influences the emotional atmosphere of the home.
When emotional and physical intimacy remain absent, the risk of seeking comfort or validation outside the relationship increases.
Also, loss of identity as lovers. Couples begin to see themselves only as co-parents, housemates, or business partners.
Furthermore, shame and self-blame, what is wrong with me, becomes a recurring, destructive inner narrative.
Also, it reduces motivation in the marriage. Partners stop planning things together because there is no sexual intimacy. And when there is no sexual intimacy in marriage, it weakens the relationship. It opens the door to conflicts. There will be lots of conflicts in the home. Why? Because there is no sexual intimacy. And if care is not taken, it can lead to separation.
Connection or relationship. Connection or relationship at which is not suitable.